rolled it over another.
Have you seen Disney, Fox, and Paramount? 7 o'clock. Why don't we get started? If everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I see a flag right here. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. If you have, thank you very much, Ashley. If you have a phone on you, please either turn it off or put it on silent for us. Let's get started. Roll call, please. Callie?
John Hedges.
Here.
Cheryl Armstrong. Here. Heidi Larson. Ashley Overton. Here. Erica Weaver. Here. Jacob Uphoff.
Here.
And Gail Ryder.
Here. Item 2, reception of visitors. 2.1A, Mattoon Middle School student leaders. Who am I handing that off to?
Like Mr. Arnold.
Mr. Arnold. Floor is yours.
We want to welcome everybody to Mattoon Middle School. My name is Chad Arnold. I'm the principal here, and hope you were able to come a little bit early and get a quick tour of some of the outstanding things that are going on here at Mattoon Middle School. I did bring with me a few of our student representatives that are going to be sharing just a little bit more about what they've been doing this year here at the school. Just would like to quickly thank our instructional coaches as well as our essentials teams. As you got the chance to see them, they really poured a lot into this evening and in order to make this happen. And so without further ado, I will let them introduce themselves and share a few pieces of information about our great school.
Hello and welcome to Mattoon Middle School. My name is Carson Evans, and to be honest, I misplaced my speech. So this is the one that I came up with in 5 minutes. I'm British Club president. Tonight, I'm here to talk about the Chili Supper. The Chili Supper is free to the community. We served over 500 people. British Club helps with many things, such as wiping down tables, carrying trays. The Chili Supper was funded by families, churches, and businesses. This taught me the importance of helping others. The Chili Supper brought many people together. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Chloe Frederick, and I'm this year's Student Council President. Student Council works on so many things throughout the year, like leadership conferences, state convention in Springfield, planning dances and assemblies, Spirit Week, and we volunteer at Special Olympics. Student Council is so much fun and a great opportunity for all students.
Hi, I'm Avery Fauner. I'm the Secretary of Student Council. This November, we attended a leadership conference in Shelbyville. We got the opportunity to hear from an inspirational speaker and play team building games with other schools. We are partnering with MHS Student Council to host a leadership conference on March 8th.
State Convention is an overnight conference in Springfield, Illinois, where we get to hear from an inspirational speaker, learn new leadership skills, make friends, and attend multiple meetings. Throughout the year, student councils collect pop tabs that go to the Ronald McDonald Organization to help those families in need. State Convention is a great way to collaborate with other student councils to prepare for the upcoming school year.
Student Council sponsors 2 dances each year. The funds raised from these dances are used to pay for various projects for MMS students. This year, Student Council fundraising allowed to purchase IAR motivational snacks and new recess equipment. We also helped support families in need in a student education in Uganda.
Every year, student council officers run the winter and spring assemblies. At the assemblies, we acknowledge all students that are involved in anything here at MMS. Band, dance, and cheer teams perform, and there are multiple games for students and staff to compete in. Overall, this is a great way to end each semester.
Students plan fun activities and dress-up days to build school spirit. Teachers and students have lots of fun dressing up and seeing each other's outfits. Some Spirit Week dress-up days examples include Student-Teacher Switch Day, pink out, and grade level colors.
Hi, I'm Maddie Carroll, and I'm on MMS Lighthouse team. Every day at MMS, we start our day off with DEN. DEN stands for Discover, Empower, Nurture. In DEN class, we are always looking for ways to better our community. Just a few ways that we have bettered the community are volunteering at local nursing homes and schools, encouraging staff and other students, and improving MMS and surrounding areas.
Hi, I'm Jenica Gibson, and I'm also on MMS Lighthouse team. Our DEN classes also do a lot on Green and Gold Day. My DEN class is mass media. We usually walk over to Williams and improve their school. Last Green and Gold Day, mass media partnered with Miss McCoy's class, and we set up the welcome leader sign that you see when you drop your kid off at school. Green and Gold Day is a great experience that I look forward to every year.
The 2023-2024 Paw Store was planned by Student Council and MMS Lighthouse team. The Paw Store is designed to give our students the opportunity to give their families presents for Christmas or buy things for themselves. The Paw Store is just one of the amazing opportunities offered to students at MMS. Planning the Paw Store taught me organization skills and how to stay calm in stressful situations.
At MMS, Lead Team wants to make sure students feel loved, safe, and involved. One way we work to increase student involvement is through clubs and activities. We surveyed students about their interests, and as a result of this, 25 plus clubs have been started. Currently, we are sponsoring an attendance challenge for each grade level to increase their weekly attendance.
Hi, I'm Bryn Overton, and I'm one of your FFA co-presidents. This year is the very first year of FFA. We started FFA in September and have been holding meetings weekly. We also have been partnering with Lyft and some leadership students from Cumberland to help get our supervised agricultural experience SAE books started. SAE books and are books to record any agricultural experience we've had out of school. We also will be doing an Arbor Day project with one of the leadership students from Lyft. A student completed a capstone project by designing and building a hydroponic aquaponic system. It is being donated to MMS and will house fish and plants in the future. On March 6th, we have been invited to the U of I College of Aces for a tour of their ag facilities, greenhouse, and have pizza. February 19th through 23rd, next week, is FFA week, and we have some activities planned for MMS. Dress-up days, showcasing our projects during lunch, teacher plant giveaways, and trivia. We will be having a spring plant sale with geraniums and petunias, as well as marigolds and zinnias we grew from seed, and various tomatoes and peppers also from seed.
Lastly, we invite you to watch a short clip created by our MIT team student leaders about what makes our middle school unique.
Thank you for allowing us to present. Are there any questions?
We just want to take the opportunity to thank our student leaders, both present and those who assisted this evening in our tours. And I want to thank you all for giving us a few moments to share some of the exciting things that are going on around the building and in our classrooms and outside the school walls. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 2.1B, Mattoon Middle School read across Mattoonville.
Okay, we're from a group called Reading Committee in our school where we meet on Thursday mornings and we basically read books and then talk about them. Recently, we were choosing and discussing many books, and one of which we picked to be our Read Across Mattoon book, which is a program where we pick a book that we think many other students in the community would like, and our hope is that they will read it and spread it to places that so other people can read it too. This is our 22nd year of doing it, and these are some of our past titles that we have chosen.
Our Read Across Mattoon book is called City Spies. The main character in City Spies is Sarah Martinez. She's a hacker. She recently broke into the New York City foster care system to expose her foster parents as cheats and lawbreakers. However, instead of being hailed as a hero, Sarah finds herself facing years in juvenile detention and banned from using computers for that amount of time. Enters Mother, a British spy who not only gets Sarah out of trouble, but offers her a chance to make a home for herself with a secret M16 agency. Operating out of a base in Scotland, the City Spies are 5 kids from various parts of the world. When they're not attending the local boarding school, they're honoring their unique skills, which as sleight of hand, breaking and entering, observation, and explosives. All of these allow them to go places in the world of espionage where adults can't. Before she knows what she's doing, Sarah is heading to Paris for an international youth summit, hacking into a rival school's computer to prevent them from winning €1,000,000, dangling 30 feet off the side of a building and trying to stop a villain, all while navigating the complex dynamics of her new team.
City Spies is by James Ponte, and currently books 1 through 5 are published. James Ponte has stated that this series will go through at least book 6 and hopefully more.
The City Spies. 5 kids from around the globe. A hacker, a magician, a code breaker, a rebel, and a genius. Operating out of a secret location in the north of Scotland. They are the biggest secret in British secret intelligence. And now, as young people from around the world head to Paris, it's up to the 5 of them to stop a dangerous villain and save the day. City Spies, a brand new series from award-winning author James Ponte.
City Spies is a series of 5 books. We have a quick summary of the first book put up for you. City Spies is an adventure series that takes you through many twists and turns with our 5 favorite spies: Paris, Sydney, Brooklyn, formerly called Sarah, Rio, and Kat. We are taken on a page-turner of an adventure when Sarah is facing years in juvenile detention and banned from using computers to do the one thing she loves to do: hack.
You can find this book at the public library and our library.
We're going to pass these books out to the board members, and as we're passing these out, I'm going to tell you that there's a little sticker inside the book that you're supposed to read, and then read the book, and then you're supposed to scan the QR code on the sticker to give us feedback about the book. Do you guys have any questions?
There there are lots of good reasons why we hold these meetings at the different schools around the district, but you just saw the best reasons up there. I get to personally thank my two tour guides, Avery and Braylon, two 7th graders. Are they in the room? They did a fantastic job, as I know all the students did. So how about a nice round of applause again for all the kids? All right, let's move on the agenda. Item 2.2, non-agenda. I have one slip. Patrick Young Sr., Mr. Young. Yes, sir.
Do I need to go to the microphone or do I just say?
If you want to come a little forward to make sure that we can hear you, that'd be awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. My name's Patrick Young Sr. I live here in Mattoon, and I've got 2 boys in the high school. Back on September 27th, my oldest boy was assaulted while he was sitting in the lunchroom. We was told by the staff that they cannot kick kids out of school, out of public schools at that. I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like that's a lie because growing up, kids were getting kicked out all the time. Let's fast forward to November. November 16th, had a child approach one of my youngest son and look at him and tell him that he was going to rape his baby sister. Needless to say, appropriate reaction was go after the kid. He chased him into a classroom, didn't touch him. I get a phone call from school on November 17th saying that they were going to give both of my boys a day off in the weekend to cool down. And then on November 20th, I get a phone call saying that I needed to come in to discuss everything. Well, they ended up kicking my boys out for at least a couple of weeks. Had to go through a threat assessment. One had to go through a mental health eval. And me and my mother was told that what that child said, there was nothing wrong with it. And personally, I don't know in whose world or whose society it's okay to say things like that. Now, after I left the school on November 20th, I did go to the school district office to speak to the superintendent. He was busy in a meeting and I never got a phone call back. And I will say my oldest boy does not want to go to school without his little brother being there because of all of it. It has gone on since the 5th grade and it's time to stop. And he's going to be a senior this next year. That's pretty much all I got to say.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Item 3 on the agenda, consent agenda, requires board action. It includes the following, 3.1, approval of minutes, regular board meeting from January 9th of this year. 3.2, payment of bills. 3.2A, that includes the bills, presentation of the bills for approval. 3.2B, the monthly financial reports by fund. And 3.2C, the budget actual report. Item 3.3, the enrollment report. Item 3.4, the freedom of information report. Item 3.5, board approval of board policies presented on January 9th. And 3.6, approval of the Mattoon High School Skills USA Amplify Advocacy, time for March 5th through the 6th. Do I have a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda?
Motion.
Motion by Erica Weaver, second.
Second.
Second by Ashley Overton. Callie, can you call the roll, please?
Armstrong? Yes. Larson? Overton? Yes. Weaver? Yes. Uphoff?
Yes.
Hedges?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes. Item 4, reports and recommendations of the business manager. Mr. Gear?
All right. Short and sweet today. So we've talked about the gym project for several months now. New gym floor, new bleachers, updated electrical, new paint, updated safety rail on the balcony, ADA updates, and new gym entry doors. So we've approved some of those projects. We're going to have some bids come in between now and the next board meeting. So we'll have some things to hopefully approve next meeting as well. The reason I'm up here today is to talk about gymnasium court sponsorship. We have board policy that allows us to get sponsorships for different things in our buildings, in our district. So the board policy 4.150, the board president appoints a special committee. The committee considers nominations and maybe nominations. The committee makes a recommendation to the board and then board action to approve if they desire to do so. So those are basically the 4 steps. We started this in June of 22, when we talked about naming rights procedures here at a board meeting, at the board office. On November 1st, 22, we put a committee together of internal and external members of the community. And then we met a couple times, and then a special committee met again on December 13, 2023 to discuss sponsorship terms and conditions, donation amounts, and potential benefactors specific to the MHS Gymnasium Court sponsorship. In doing this process, we were approached by Casey Summers, who is interested in partnering with MHS Athletics and sponsoring the court at Mattoon High School. The new court that we're going to get, it would be called Casey Summers Court in our gym. They offered to sponsor us for $240,000, $30,000 a year paid out over 8 years. And in return for that, their logo would be placed on the court for 8 years. 8 years is about the life of the court. So after 8 years, we would probably need to sand it and repaint it again. So then we would look for new sponsors if that were necessary. They would get public address mentions at different games. They would have sponsorship of booster events like golf outing and things like that. They would go in the program for all home tournaments. There would be a rotating logo on a video board if we get that in the future. Tagged on our Mattoon social media accounts. Logo on our school website. Passes to school events and press release. And then there would also be a grand opening. So that's what they get in return for their $240,000 given to the district. So we've gone through all the steps up to the last and final step. Upon board approval, staff will reach out to representatives of Casey Summers to collaborate on signage for the MHS main gym court. So the team recommends that the board approve sponsorship by Casey Summers.
Can I add just a quick clarification, because I think Ryan stated that the life of the court was 8 years, but actually the sanding of the surface and the redoing of the court is. So we're hopeful that the life of the court exceeds that quite a bit. So just
we're not going to get a new court in 8 years. We're just going to repaint.
So when would this start?
This would start when we put in a new court in the summer.
So the fall 24.
Yeah, hopefully volleyball season in the fall. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Does any other board member have any questions?
Do we know what the design looks like? Like when you say that the logo for Casey Summers is going to go on the floor?
Right. We didn't want to get ahead of ourselves. Okay. We want to get approval, and then we'll sit down with Casey Summers. But it'd probably be like, like you see their signage or whatever says Casey Summers. It'd probably just be their logo on two different places on the court, probably one on each side.
Will we have the opportunity to vote on that, or?
The plan is to have that at the next board meeting.
Okay.
All of our renderings for the gym, we want to show it.
Well, I meant, like, will we be able to vote on the design that goes on?
I think we'll have some renderings, and then we can go from there.
Okay.
Sure.
This is a wonderful thing. I mean, I appreciate that. Was it open for other people who might have wanted to sponsor, or?
Right. So Mr. Duckett is our athletic director. So one of his things is he's out in the community all the time looking for sponsors, donations. So he's met with lots of people throughout the community, and this has kind of been thrown around the community. So Casey Summers volunteered to do this. We have several other sports courts and fields that anybody else who wants to donate can do as well. So we have a football field, soccer fields, baseball field, So anybody else who would want to get involved and sponsor one of our courts or one of our fields, we can open that up as we go through in the future. So this is just kind of to get it started.
Okay.
But we did have other people, like the conversation was engaged with other.
Yeah. Trent's talked to several people throughout the community about different sponsoring opportunities.
Any other questions from board members? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the naming rights agreement with Casey Summers?
Yes, so moved.
Jake Upall, second by John Hedges. Callie, can you call the roll, please?
Larson, Overton. Yes. Weaver.
Abstain.
Uphoff.
Yes.
Hedges.
Yes.
Armstrong.
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes. Item 5, reports and recommendations of the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources. Sir?
Good Board head report then. February personnel report. As we go through, we have some certified resignations. Shelby Dwyer resigning as Mattoon Middle School 7th grade teacher effective January 12th, 24. Courtney Hayes resigns as Mattoon Middle School 7th grade teacher effective the end of the 23-24 school year. And then the administration is also requesting that the retirement of Mrs. Kim McQueen Wilson, who originally set a retirement date at the end of the 24-25 school year. The board remember she wanted to go a year early. You approved that, I believe, last board meeting. This board meeting, we're coming back and we're requesting that you extend that to the original retirement date of the 24-25 school year. And let me say that would be a win-win for the district and for students to have her one more year here at the middle school. So we're recommending that action as well. James Sledge, we're recommending that he retire. The board accept that at the end of the 28-29 school year. Mr. Sledge is the librarian, media specialist at Mattoon High School. He's been in the district well over 23, 24 years at the time of his retirement. So thank him for his service. Continuing certified appointments, Sydney Dominguez, we're looking to request as a substitute teacher effective immediately. Glenda Donaldson, substitute teacher effective immediately. Alicia Sag, substitute teacher effective immediately. Tabitha Craig, recommending as William Elementary School supervisor effective as a resignation effective immediately. Melinda Gorbanzowski, we're recommending as resigns middle school, elementary school parapro effective January 26, 2024. Melissa Martin, classroom paraprofessional, resigning effective January 24, 2024. Josh Wendell resigns Mattoon Middle School custodian effective January 26, 2024. Classified appointments, we're recommending Keith Prairie as Mattoon High School custodian effective immediately. Ashley Connor recommending her as Rural Elementary School librarian paraprofessional effective immediately. And going down, classified appointments, Tabitha Craig, substitute supervisor. Lily Gare recommending as Little Leader daycare substitute effective immediately. Berna Dorini Gray recommending substitute bus driver and substitute bus aide effective immediately. And Brett Paul, Chris Kelly, Hunter Lauren, Peter Lusk, and Brandon Saunders all recommending as substitute building security supervisors effective immediately. James Pugh, we're recommending as substitute custodian effective immediately. Teresa Pullen, substitute nurse effective immediately. And then finishing up on the normal report, classified appointments under Kayla Thompson, volunteer effective immediately. Extracurricular assignments, Kate Bush recommending as Mattoon High School assistant track coach effective immediately. Heather Piper recommending as Mattoon Middle School 6th grade coach, boys track coach effective immediately. Lily Prinko recommending as Mattoon Middle School 8th grade boys track coach effective immediately. And Serenity Weeding recommending as Mattoon Middle School 6th grade girls track coach effective immediately. In addition, we have an addendum. Classified resignations, 5.1C, Alicia Quest, resigning as Riddle Elementary School supervisor effective January 4th, 2024. And then we have Noah Corral, we're recommending as Mattoon Middle School custodian effective immediately. Morgan Warren, we're recommending as Riddle Elementary School title paraprofessional effective February 20th, 2024. Dwayne Bouchou, longtime custodian of the district, we're recommending as sub-custodian effective immediately. And Don Sweeney, who's currently a security supervisor for us, I'll recommend as sub-custodian to do some work in the summertime. He wants to be a sub-custodian list. Lastly, extracurricular assignment, we're recommending Jake Potter as Mattoon High School head varsity girls volleyball coach effective for the 24-25 school year. Are there any questions? See none, then I would recommend the board accept the personnel report as presented.
Motion to approve the personnel report as presented.
Motion.
Motion from Erica Weaver, second.
Second. You do, Cheryl.
Second, Cheryl Armstrong. Callie?
Overton.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Uphoff.
Yes.
Hedges.
Abstain.
Armstrong.
Yes.
Larson. Ryder.
Yes. All right. Item 6, reports and recommendations of the superintendent. Mr. Condren.
Thank you. So,
You guys hear me? Here we go. Is that better back there or should it? Okay. So
Annually, we go through the process of the selection of the board and district calendar. And just to kind of offer some insight as to what goes into this, there is a district level committee that is made up of MEA representation, MESPA representation, as well as a board member that sits on this committee as well. So to offer some insight, what are the requirements that go into building out the district calendar? There's by school code, there's 176 days that are required for student attendance, 180 teacher work days, and 4 of those can be used as Teacher Institute. And we'll talk a little bit about that here as we move forward. Some of the scheduling preferences that go into each year's calendar makeup include the registration survey that parents give us feedback on every year at the start of the school year in August. And then fall and spring parent-teacher conferences are something that we prioritize to make sure that parents have an opportunity to come in and share, as well as our students sharing how they're progressing in their coursework. And then graduation, typically prior to Memorial Day. Just to outline, I mentioned Dan Compton, Lori Storm sat on this as representatives of MEA, Danny Simpson and Amy St. John from MESPA, Dale Ryder, and Dr. Hild and myself on that calendar committee as well. So there were 3 calendars that were put up for a vote as an opportunity for our staff to review, and quite significantly, as you can see here, calendar A won, I guess, if you will, on the recommendation to bring forth to the board. So I'll walk through some of those things, but some slight differences between calendar A and calendar B calendar A includes the long spring break. Calendar B included a long weekend wrapped around Easter. And the difference between calendar A and calendar C happened to be when a Teacher Institute was placed either after Christmas break or at the very end of the school year. So the calendar A is the one that has that Teacher Institute after spring or after Christmas break. So for those interested, this will also be available when the minutes go up on our website. You'll be able to see the breakdown of student and teacher attendance days for the first and second semester. This is typically the case where the first semester is slightly shorter than the second semester. So as you can see there, that's kind of how it panned out with that as well. So the specifics of what this looks like, school will, the recommended calendar includes school starting with 2 Teacher Institute days on August 12th and August 13th, with this first student attendance day on Wednesday the 14th. The end of school, the last student teacher attendance day is planned for Friday, May 23rd, with graduation scheduled for Saturday, May 17th, 2025. This year, similar to the previous year, the regional office, the regional superintendent can mandate the use of a Teacher Institute day for districts throughout the region. So this year, Dr. Thompson has requested and mandated that October 11th will be utilized for that. So that will be a required Teacher Institute day, but no student attendance. As I mentioned previously, there are 2 parent-teacher conferences, one in the fall, and then as we've typically done that evening with student-led conferences across the district, as well as Friday. That will also be an opportunity Friday morning on October 18th. And then a half day is scheduled for March 7th, where students will be released 2.5 hours for early dismissal. Teachers will offer the parent-teacher conferences that Thursday evening, and teachers will be dismissed after student dismissal on March 7th. Winter break, this has created some excitement from what I hear from our staff. Winter break will be December 21st through January 5th, so it is actually 2 full weeks, and through the additional, I guess, Teacher Institute on January 6th. So students would return to class on Tuesday, January 7th. So parents, if you're upset about that long break, we completely understand. Please feel free to email me. And spring break will be offered in April. It's a later Easter this next year, so April 12th through the 21st, and students and teachers would return on Tuesday, the 22nd. So
There's a copy of the calendar, and if approved this evening, based upon the board's action, we'll have some of this information available on our website for families that if they wish to plan. Likewise, we have the drafted calendar at a glance, so it offers those important dates for families to be able to get on their calendar as quickly as they can, and that too will be up later this week if approved. So with that, the administrative team recommends, with the support of the scheduling committee, calendar A for the 24-25 school year adoption.
Do I have a motion to approve calendar A for the 24-25 school year?
Motion. Second.
Motion from Ashley Overton, second by Erica Weaver. Kelly?
Weaver?
Yes.
Uphoff?
Yes.
Hedges?
Yes.
Armstrong? Yes. Larson? Overton?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Item 6.2 is board action to approve a 3-year collective bargaining agreement with the Mattoon Education Association, also known as MEA. We'd just like to recognize MEA's president and vice president, Mr. Dan Compton, sitting in the front row here, as well as Mr. Chris Young, who played a pretty vital role. And apologize for not also introducing others that played an important role in this, but they had a great team that came with issues. This is, I believe, our 4th opportunity to bargain what's known as interest-based bargaining. I think both the association as well as the board and administrative team find it very valuable to bargain in that manner, where we have the opportunity to all collectively sit in the same room, share the concerns that each party may have, and then work together to discuss solutions in the same room. So it's different than the traditional bargaining process, where you would potentially say, here's our proposal, we'll look it over, we'll caucus, and then go back. So I share all of that just as a nod to the relationship I think that exists between the board as well as the Mattoon Education Association. And a similar process to our support staff association is held as well with MESPA. So again, appreciate the joint efforts from MEA's perspective as well. So to offer some insight as to what is included, there's very few language items, but I think we were able to capture most of those pretty quickly. The board has a copy of that draft as well. But this is a 3-year agreement, as I mentioned, for years 24-25, 25-26, and 26-27. The total overall board cost of the contract is 3.72% over the 3 years. And that equates to some different numbers individually for teachers. However, we believe that this is a fiscally responsible contract from both the board's perspective, but also recognizes and compensates our staff, hopefully to the degree in which we're able to continue to retain staff and provide the professional development that we hear from staff as well. So appreciate the joint efforts to arrive at a feasible contract with that. So I guess without going into greater detail around the language items, that primarily was what the board's focus was back in November in executive session, when the board wanted to discuss kind of those financial parameters. So I'll open it up for the board for questions in regards to any other points about collective bargaining before our recommendation for approval.
Questions from the board?
Not a question, more of a comment. I sat in on the entire bargaining. Very fair negotiations by our teachers, and I think it's a fair contract. Very fair.
Other questions or comments from the board? Gentlemen, thank you. Motion to approve the contract.
Motion.
Motion from Erica Weaver, second.
Second.
Second from Cheryl Armstrong. Kelly? Sorry. Yes.
Hedges?
Yes.
Armstrong? Yes. Larson? Overton? Yes. Weaver?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Last item I have is 6.3, board action to approve the 24-25 non-contractual rate schedule. So this is typically occurs after the most recent bargaining. So we'll share a copy of that with you. I believe the board has a copy in their electronic board packet as well. but we'll show to highlight some of the key points here. We worked with Mr. Gear's office in regards to what we can budget for the upcoming year. The areas that we've seen some significant adjustments, worked with Dr. Scosi's office to bring some things more into line. As many of you know, the minimum wage increases on January 1st of 2025 to $15 an hour. So we've made some adjustments to this rate schedule to meet that minimum. But just looking at this will increase, I think, some key things to point out. The substitute teacher pay up to $120 next year. This is currently at $110. So increasing that by $10 in the upcoming school year, as well as increasing those consecutive days. So we have a different pay rate for 10 days for the same teacher and 25 days for the same teacher. So those also increasing by $5 more next year is what they currently are for this year. Some other things that I think have come into some alignment here. The Mattoon High School athletic event per event is a $35 pay rate, as well as the middle school athletic event pay rate. So hopeful to align those moving forward. The sub-custodial piece, if anyone's interested in applying for substitute custodial positions, that's a cheap little way for me to plug that in there. We're always looking for additional staff as well as sub-bus drivers. So also have some breakout of that as the board can see as well. Any questions regarding the non-contractual rate schedule? If none, I would ask the board to approve the non-contractual rate schedule as presented, please.
Entertain a motion to approve the 2024-25 non-contractual rate schedule. Motion.
Second.
Motion by John Hedges, second by Erica Weaver. Kelly?
Hedges,
Yes.
Armstrong. Yes. Larson, Overton. Yes. Weaver. Yes. Uphoff.
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes. There is no business under reports and recommendations of other district personnel, nor unfinished business or new business. So we are preparing to go to executive session. For everyone's information, when the board comes out of executive session, there will be no substantive business conducted. We'll simply adjourn. That'll be the only vote that's taken after we come out. So with that, I'm going to make a motion that the board retire to executive session to discuss matters pertaining to student discipline, as well as to discuss matters pertaining to the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees. So I have a second on that motion.
Second.
Second from Erica Weaver. Kelly?
Armstrong. Yes. Larson, Overton.
Yes.
Weaver. Yes. Uphoff.
Yes.
Hedges.
Yep.
Ryder.
Yes. Everyone have a good evening. Thank you.